There's a ton of mowers that are built almost exactly like this, and this will apply to any mower. And I'm going to show you how to sharpen the blade, or at least get the blade off. So you want to get the blade off, and you want to put some ramps under the back. But once you put the ramps under the back, if you drive onto them, then you'll have these ramps in the way. You can't get under the mower. You can pull that whole deck, but that's a lot of work, and I don't do that. I just get my car jack and I put it right up under the transmission, and I jack it way up. And what you want to do is you want to block this. You don't want to do what I'm doing and just leave it Wi-Fi in the air. And block that so it's really safe. Put on the emergency brake too once you block it. Then you want something soft to lay on, and this is part of my bed rug I trimmed off from an older Chevrolet to put it in my F-150 Super Crew, and had some extra, and that made for a nice area to lay on. And then what you want to do is you want to get you a socket wrench, and in this case what I've got is a it's not an impact, but you should get an impact if you're using the impact gun. 16 millimeter is what fits this one, so your mower may be different. This is one of the easiest ways to pull this off, and I invested in this, and I say invested not lightly because it saves time. And you want to put it onto reverse there. And then what you want to do is you lay down real quick and on your soft bed rug, and because this is going to be safely blocked by you, and you want to get this off. And to get this off, all you do is you barely touch it here. And if you have a socket wrench, now you want to have to get a block of wood and force in here in between and where to lock up the blade, and then use a breaker bar to get this off. But this, you just use one finger and it comes right off like that. And once that's done, then you just want to loosen it up. Now I'm going to take a note of how this is aligned, and I'm going to do one blade at a time. Actually, I already did the other two blades. Typical of my YouTube videos, and I think, wow, that'd make a great video. I'm going to undo this with one hand because I'm going tripod free today. Lost my tripod, and maybe I'll find that. Whoop. Here's what you see. You see your blade here. As soon as you get it off without flipping it over, you want to mark this. What was the top? I always try to put a little T on it, and that's a terrible T with one hand. But now I know what the top of the blade was, because that blade needs to go right back on. Otherwise, you're going to put it on upside down, and you're going to be cutting with the dull side of the blade. So I've got the sharp side of the blade going in the right direction now. So when I put this back on, T for top, going right back, oof, right up in there. And you'll see the star pattern on mine. Now, yours might not have a star pattern. Mine does, and this is important, so listen to this. See that star right up in there? When you put it back on, you want to nest this right up in here and get it to sort of click into place and tighten it with your fingers before you tighten that up. So that's what that's about. So now we're going to take this blade and we're going to go inside and we're going to use the bench grinder to do this. You could use a file. It'd take you a real long time, but I want to use a bench grinder to do this. I'm going to sharpen this up. I'm going to show you how to balance it too. We can start out by looking to see if it's balanced. Look, top of my blade's marked. This is an old school blade balancer, and you can get this on that world's largest shopping website for a couple dollars or a few dollars, and it just balances for all kinds of sides of blades. You put that on there until the same notch is on all the way around right there, and you see if your blade is balanced. If it's way off balance, it's going to be like that, right? This blade is not unbalanced, so that's good. And then we'll sharpen this blade, and then we're going to then test it to make sure it is sharpened. Over here's the bench grinder, and sorry for the light being in your face, but I'm going to turn this on, and then I'm going to take this, and first thing I'm going to do is, with one hand because that's real safe, get any notches out of there. You see it's got a couple notches in it. This is the best of the several blades that I had done there. And the other ones had some notches in them. It's going to get kind of out here, so I apologize, but you'll see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to finish it up without using one hand. I'm going to use two hands and put this all the way, in my case, all the way on. Well, I've had it on medium. I'm going to leave it on medium. You put it on whatever you feel like it should be on. Then you want to try to match this angle like this. You don't want to hit it like this too much, but that's what I'm going to do at first to get rid of any notches. You got on your eye protective wear, of course, so that's going to save your eyes. And that did that, so I might run it down through there 2 times, but this one looks so good that I'm only going to do it once. And now I'm going to try to get to that angle by holding it straight and looking sideways here, and I'm going to make one pass down through here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Now that got shaky because I got one hand. But anyway, you see that you want to get to a blade again, and then you do the other side. So now I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to sharpen this up, and I'm going to come back, or at least I'm going to pause this. I've sharpened both blades by hand, and I don't pretend to have mastered this, so it's not going to look great. But you see that it relatively is a lot more flat and to the edge than it was before. And the other side is too. And you'll, oh, Jason, that looks like crap. But you know, do better, and just take your time and do it how you like it. This is fine for me because it's going to be under the mower and nobody's going to see it. Now I'm going to put it back on here, and I'm going to make sure it's just not totally lopsided. I might even give it a spin. Make sure it's not totally lopsided. And that's going to be good enough for government work for us. So now we're going to go back out here and we're going to put it back on, but we're going to make sure that we got the top on the top and the bottom on the bottom. The hot side hot and the cold side cold. You ever get a McDLT back in the 80s from McDonald's? The hot side was hot and the cool side was cold. It's a great commercial. Go look at it. Styrofoam container with chlorofluorocarbons that probably ate up the earth. But anyway, it was a good sandwich if you like to eat at McDonald's at the time, and I no longer do. But now that I'm under the mower and have found my nut, what I'm going to do is look for the top marking that I have, because again, you don't want to put this on upside down. You'll be cutting with a really dull blade, the backwards blade. And slip this through there and tighten it by hand first, and then match up that star pattern. I like to put mine back in the orientation that they were, but you do you. And you'll remember that my blade was, now the safest thing to do would be also pull the spark plug, so, but turn the key off at least, and get this in there in that star pattern that we had. See if we can find that match up like a puzzle. It's just not wanting to do it right now. It will if I turn the camera off and use 2 hands. Or if I use one hand and say a prayer. There we go. All you have to say is the word prayer. Call in the name of Jesus and he'll help you. I'm not kidding about that. And I got that nested up in there just like that. And now I'll put this on forward. And again, with a impact, you don't even have to lock this up, but you know. All you want to do is tap it once. You don't want to over torque that thing. Maybe tap it twice in this case, but it's good to go. And I just showed you how to sharpen the blade there. And you repeat it with the other 2 or other one, or maybe you only had one. Anyway, thanks for watching. And that's how to sharpen your lawnmower blades. Make sure they're balanced and maybe not pretty, but like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.